it's still a bit surreal to me, to be honest, that this has happened, because honestly, it was better than I had ever hoped for, you know? People that don't even play Pokemon Go, like, wow, this is actually super exciting. As someone who has battled for like 3 years, has invested a lot of time in it, has heard people say time and time again that this is just a tap game, is very exciting to hear that other people are also enjoying it, and that's just amazing.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another amazing episode of the Third Shield Pokemon Go PvP podcast. Guys, I have back here in the studio one of the most amazing guests who have returned, but now with a little bit of an experience of the first international championship from Frankfurt. So ThoTechtical's is joining us here today. Tho, welcome back to the podcast.
What's up, Daniel? Thank you for the very nice introduction. Thank you for having me back on the podcast. I'm excited for this.
Right off the bat, while the experience and everything that you have seen is still super fresh in your mind, because I wanted to pick your brain about it, you know, how was the overall experience compared to what you expected when you hopped on the train to get there? What were you expecting from the walking in, literally to signing up to everything, just so we can like explain to people who didn't go for some reasons, because let's say it could have been the restrictions they had, or including you had to be a legend or not, and many other things. So I just wanted to start right off the bat, like when you were leading up to the tournament.
All right, well, first off, I went into the tournament honestly with not that many expectations. You know, I played the Silver Arena for a very long time when you know, PvP launched, and the tournaments then were always very basic, all community organized. We would play literally at a freaking train station, you know, in the cold. So, you know, I still had that in my mind. But it was so much more professional. Of course, I mean, it's organized by Play Pokemon, so it has to be, but no, it was extremely professional. Signing up was pretty easy. And, you know, just the whole venue was huge, and they set up everything very organized. So finding your opponent during the event was really easy. Yeah, overall, just a very pleasant experience. And
I'm super happy to hear this, and what you just said about the battling at the train stations and all these things with Silver Arena, because community-based battling. So I'm so excited because, guys, in case you don't know, and I will link it in below, but Tho and I did a podcast, we just looked it up about 1.5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about the possibility of what just happened last weekend, of Pokemon Go going esports, having its own tournaments, and basically being live streamed on Twitch and the official Pokemon Go channels, and hopefully soon on the official Pokemon channels. But this was something we basically just hoped for 1.5 years ago, and here we are today.
If Niantic would organize their own tournaments, they would advertise it in the app itself, on their social media. They would stream it, and they would really showcase PvP. They would show how much skill it takes, how much fun it would be. It would grow for sure. Yeah, it's happened. Honestly, it hasn't been a week since this event ended, and I don't know, I'm still processing it. It's still a bit surreal to me, to be honest, that this has happened, because it was more, honestly, it was better than I had ever hoped for, you know, especially like the broadcast. I think the stream was wonderful. I heard so many, like, even non-PvPers, or even people that don't even play Pokemon Go, like VGC players that just tuned in to the POGO stream for a couple of minutes, be like, wow, this is actually super exciting. And that, as someone who has battled for like 3 years, has invested a lot of time in it, has heard people say time and time again that this is just a tap game, is very exciting to hear that other people are also enjoying it, and that's just amazing.
I'm in Eastern time, so it's 6 hours differences. So I got up, I set my alarm at 3 a.m. to be able to get up.
Oh my goodness.
And watch it.
Oh my goodness. That's worth it though, right? That was worth it.
It was worth it. That's what I'm saying. It was worth it. And I'm so happy that I did that. And right off the bat, I was so impressed by the layout, by the way, that the way they set it up. That was a really good job, the way they did it.
Dude.
Right?
Makes our layouts seem like absolute garbage. I'm gonna have to step up my game.
It's true, because they had all the info, all the data, very well done. I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. And honestly, as soon as I opened the stream, I was like, oh, this is good. I was so excited. And the shoutcasters, they have so much experience, even though they never done an event like this, but they've been doing this basically for years. So they did a really good job. And you know what I wanted to bring up right off the bat before, because some people might have not recognized this, but you in person had, I believe, a way better experience, even what we have seen online, which was already good. So because a few things. A, you had the live reaction of the audience. B, you were interacting with people. And then 3, you were actually able to realize that Pokemon Go was on the main stage, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. In the venue itself, you know, every single game they're also broadcasting on Twitch. That was also just on the stage there. So we had Pokemon Go center stage, then we had TCG on the right and VGC on the left. But Pokemon Go, what I was watching the whole day, center stage. We were just sitting there in the crowd with a bunch of passionate battlers. You know, we were able to see the full stage, so we could see, you know, the battlers in the flesh. And then also we had a big screen which basically just had the stream on it, what you also saw on Twitch, and then also with the shoutcasters in our ears as well, of course. And it's just so hype. I remember when, if you've watched any highlight videos of the EUYC, you've seen this catch by Inadequance when he catches the Earth Power on the Pelipper. And I still remember, before that even happened, you know, everyone was like, Inadequance loses it, Inadequance loses this. And then I remember I said, no, we can still catch the guys, don't worry, don't worry. And then he caught, and the crowd just went wild.
Pelipper with almost no health, Registeel with almost no health versus this Nidoqueen.
Here comes the potential swap Earth Power. There's the swap, and he catches the Earth Power!
That is not something you get at home. That you can only get there. And it's just so fun. It's so fun. That's all I can say. Like, if you're considering going to one of these events, just go. Just the experience alone, watching the battles with some other passionate battlers is so much fun.
I wanted to talk about like team building, like how you actually thought about building a team. And then, so let's start with that. And then after that, once you actually got to the tournament, how did it go on from there, registering your team, and then basically getting on the stage and all those, basically all those things?
All right. Well, as far as team building goes, I didn't prepare that much, to be honest. I kind of just threw something together, which I thought would be strong. And I just started with the 3 most broken Pokemon in Open Great League currently, which I believe are Shadow Nidoqueen, Walrein, which I decided to run as Shadow because I like the better Skarmory matchup and Registeel matchup Shadow Walrein has, and then Galarian Stunfisk, which we all know is OP. So I just start with those 3. And then I added 3 more broken Pokemon that cover their weaknesses, which is Azumarill, Medicham, and Mandibuzz. I mean, I don't think I have to explain. Those 3 are known to be incredibly strong. So that was basically my team building, just throwing the OP Pokemon together. And well, I guess it ended up working pretty well. And when we finally got to the venue, registering teams was pretty easy too. The tournament started on Friday, 9 a.m. And you had to make sure you were there like a little earlier. I think I was there like 8:15, but a lot of people didn't show up until like 8:45. But you just got a piece of paper where you wrote your team on, basically. You actually got 2 pieces of paper. One where you only wrote your Mon and its CP, and another where you would write on your Mon its CP, its nickname, and its moves. And that one with the moves goes to the judges, so they can make sure you don't cheat and change your movesets, because that's not allowed. And the other one, you exchange with your opponent every round.
And so after you registered and when you went to battling, like when you got on the stage, were there like rules that they told you that this is what you can do, this is what you cannot do, or anything like that?
I mean, yeah, we have a meeting. There's like before the tournament starts in general, there's like a meeting, and one of the judges tells us all the rules. Most of it you already know. You know, it's a best of 3, show 6, pick 3. You're gonna exchange each other's teams before each match starts, and then you can pick a team of 3 to battle. Just the basic stuff.
And when you guys were sitting in front of each other, a few things. So I believe there was a divider, right, between the two, so you can't really see if what moves move. Can you even see your opponent with that divider or no?
Yes, off stage there were like dividers, and they were low enough to where you could still see your opponent, but high enough that you could just put your hands and phone behind it, and your opponent wouldn't be able to see the phone or see how you swiped the moves. On the main stage, it was a little different. I mean, you probably saw the main stage table on the stream. It's a big round table, players on either side, also judges, 2 judges on the table as well, which are looking if you're not doing anything strange or cheating or anything. And on that stage, you could kind of see your opponent how they swipe their charge moves. But if you just put your phone down a little bit and maybe even fake your charge move a little bit, it's impossible. So on day 2, they did end up putting up a big divider, which you probably also might have seen on the stream. And that one was way too, because some people complained that they were able to see their opponent's charge moves, or they were suspecting others of checking out the charge moves. So they put up this big divider, and it was way too tall because I couldn't even see my opponent anymore, which I think is kind of lame. In these local tournaments, I do like to, stare at my opponent a little bit. I think that's part of the fun. But yeah, I think there has to be probably a what you call it, some middle ground has to be found on that.
Yeah, I that's what I was wondering, because that's what it looked like to me. And yeah, I would like to stare my opponent deep into the eye when I do a quetch like in the Quindens. So.
Yeah, no, exactly. You gotta stare him into the soul after you've done that.
Yeah.
Intimidate him a little bit.
And as far as like the microphone and the headphones, I saw you guys wearing that. Were you able? So did you hear your opponent, or who did you hear through that, or were you able to talk to them, or what was that all about?
Yeah, so the headset was all soundproof for one, because we were sitting quite close to the crowd actually. So without a soundproof headset, you would be able to hear the whole live stream as well. And there was no delay on that. So if Speedy's Chief called out that your opponent was gonna throw a bait, you would hear it without headset. So it's soundproof headset, but also had like some noise in it. It's like at first I found it really annoying. It was like a very annoying, like I think white noise, like constant sound, which they actually turned up on day 2 as well. But you get used to it. It's not that bad. It blocks the sound. And then we were mic'd up as well. And through that mic, you were able to speak to your opponent and the judges as well. All 4 of those were able to hear each other.
Oh, that's cool. So I could talk dirty to my opponent, right?
Yes, you could.
That's actually pretty cool. As far as did you meet anybody there that you haven't seen before and it was cool to see the first time, or anything like that? Like any cool experiences?
Loads of people. It's too long of a list, to be honest, but some you might know. Zionic, of course, Speediest Chief, Caleb Pang, 2O Butters, everyone. Like I met so many people. It was so much fun.
How do you feel about the community? So because obviously with the pandemic, the seasons, people retiring, people quitting and complaining, and all the things that happened, did this event restart that fire, if that fire was a little bit lower inside of you? Or how do you feel right now about Pokemon Go Battle League and the community?
Oh, I mean, the community is great. Definitely that fire was a bit low because most of the community is currently online, and online people are different. And especially if you look on Twitter or on the YouTube comments, sometimes there's a ton of negativity always. But if once you're there in person, actually talking to people, it is much different, and you realize that this community is really, really great, and it definitely fueled that fire again for me, and I'm extremely excited to meet more people at more of these events.
Happy to hear that. Was there any crazy encounters that you had? I'll give you an example. I was at a gym bathroom here in Tampa, Florida, where I live, and I was using the bathroom, standing there, number one, not number two, and somebody walked up behind me, like I could almost feel them breathing on my neck, and just standing there, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm not gonna be able to go if somebody just breathing over my neck, so I keep, like, what the hell is he doing? Anyways, and then finally finish up, do the shake, turn around, and then the guy literally like jumped at me like, hey Z, like this, and I was literally just
oh my
up.
Goodness.
Do you have something like that, or anything crazy or out of the ordinary?
Dude, that goes too far. No, actually, everyone I met was extremely respectful. I had a lot of people come up with me like, hey, I watch your videos and I want a picture. And that was honestly, I'm not used to that kind of attention. I normally don't like that kind of attention, but they're all very nice and respectful. So no, it was a very positive experience. I think the best experience I had was someone came up with me, and he was just like, hey, I'm a big fan, I watch your videos. He gave me this piece of paper with a drawing, and he just walked away. Look at this. Oh, get it in the camera.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
That's me with my team. It's really nice.
Wait. There was a Ludicolo on that. You didn't have Ludicolo?
Yeah, I didn't. No, but it's my mascot, of course. It's a mascot.
Yeah. And which I was gonna ask you. I was a little bit disappointed when I saw your team. I was like, where the hell is Ludicolo? What happened with that?
Always in my heart. Always in my heart.
But by the way, if now thinking back on the tournament, would Ludicolo serve better? Would have served better than any of the Pokemon on your team right now, thinking back?
No.
No? Okay.
Unfortunately, Ludicolo just isn't that good.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to find out, But and as far as Go Battle League right now, so we are still in interlude season. We have, I think the next international championship will be in Ohio. And then basically after that, we're gonna have a few other ones, but not international. Or maybe there's one more international, I could be wrong. And then we have London. But question is, are you planning to go on any other ones? Or no?
Currently, not really. There are two more regionals in Europe, in Lille and Bremen, next month, but probably gonna pass on those. I'm already going to Safari Zone next month, and then a Go Fest in Berlin. So already doing a lot of traveling. And I plan on being at London either way, hopefully a spectator then. So I don't really care too much for a Worlds invite at the moment, since my main reason to go to the event at the moment will be just to meet up with people and have fun anyway.
Yeah, same. That's my plan as well for London. I mean, I know for a fact that I'm going to Ohio for the international, but I know for a fact I'm not gonna be one of the winners who actually get to London on the stage. Which, speaking of winners, what did you think about the winner and the one-liner that blew up everybody's mind on the internet about Go Battle League?
Yeah, he doesn't play GBL. That's what he said, but it's not entirely true. It does, because he actually does have like 7,000 battles in GBL, and he also said he's never reached Legend, which is true, but he's also never really tried to hit Legend that hard. So I think if he really tried, he could. He's really good at Sylph. He plays a lot of Show 6 tournaments in Sylph, and that's where he gets a lot of his experience from. So yeah, I think overall he's just a very well-rounded battler.
Yeah, I love that. I thought it was just funny, that comment. He could have just done it for show as well, but thinking of it.
Yeah, no, it was very, very funny. I love the Sylph arena as well. I think it doesn't get as much credit as it deserves. Yeah. So honestly, it was good to see it. It actually got a little shout out there.
Yeah, that was awesome. I really liked it. And as far as for the future, so the future of Go Battle League, what do you think? What this did to us, to the community? and how is it going to look like. And I know we have a lot in the air right now, and I want to talk about it a little bit more about that, because a few things that I realized is Niantic didn't advertise this event, like that Pokemon Go is going to be here and international, and they didn't retweet it, they didn't really talk about it, and it wasn't in-game advertisement either, whereas at the same time Sword and Shield was in-game advertised that you know, the VGC, that this is going to happen, sign up, come, all that kind of stuff. You can watch it here. It was also tweeted, it was advertised, let's just put it this way. Same with the card games, and somehow Pokemon Go still on Twitch outbeaten the TCG, which is absolutely amazing, honestly. And it was super close to Sword and Shield as well, so I was very excited. And again, and that's without the help of Niantic. And I'm not done talking Niantic, but probably they have the reasons behind it. But I just wanted to get your opinion on it.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I think Pokemon Go had like half the viewers of TCG and more than, or of VGC and more than TCG. So second place, like that's insane for their first event without any advertising. And it was done on a Twitch channel that hasn't been used for 5 years, right?
Yeah, and one more to that. And they started the first 2 hours with the name of Pokemon Go Fest 2016 or 17.
Oh, they messed up so hard, honestly. Yeah,
it's
honestly wild.
Yeah,
wild.
I had people saying that I didn't click on it at first. I had people came into my chat and said that I couldn't find it. Where is this at? And then because they saw that it's live, but because of the title, what it said, they didn't click on it. It was probably like a commercial going, you know, so they thought it's like GoFest something replay. So they went away from it.
Wow. And then still managed to pull in so many viewers. Clearly people are very excited for Pokemon Go as an esports, I guess. So I hope that Pokemon Go company has seen this, Niantic has seen this, and that they realize how much potential this game has, and that they can put or allocate more resources into, you know, fixing the game and making it better.
Yeah, that's my hopes too. I really hope they can't ignore it. It was pretty good success. I was just very tiny bit disappointed seeing that they were pushing the community day so hard on all channels and everything, and including the CEO of the company and everything, which I understand why, of course. That's more aligned with their goal and future and core values and all that. But it would have been cool if there was mention, of course, more of Go Battle League. But you had somebody, I forgot, from Niantic who was there, traveled there, right?
There were multiple Niantic employees there. Actually, I don't think I should call them all out, but yeah, I spoke with multiple Niantic employees there, and you know, they were all very excited for the event, and overall, you know, also talked about all the issues in the game with them, and you know, they are hard at work at fixing everything, because they also realize what potential this game has.
What would you recommend, and what do you actually do for counting? Do you do the turns, or do you actually memorize the moves and its energy needs, and then also how much it generates? And then do you like add them up, like 7 plus 7, and then subtract when they throw energy ball or whatever? Or how do you do it?
Well, I'll be honest, currently I'm very lazy with counting. I used to count basically everything these days. You know, the game is kind of broken, so sometimes counting just doesn't help. So I've just become extremely lazy, not really counting much, just doing it by feeling. But what if I do like a more competitive tournament? I kind of currently I mix it up because I always started with counting the moves. So I know 5 bubbles is Ice Beam, I know 7 bubbles is Hydro Pump, I know 6 is Play Rough, and then the second is 5. But what I'm currently kind of slowly learning myself, and what I would also highly recommend to everyone is to learn the actual energy and turns. So, you know, Mitchell, that's 9 energy. Oh, they've just thrown 8. Oh, that's 72. They throw their Earthquake. That's 65. Now they have 7 energy left over, and if they do 5 more merge shots, that's 45 plus 7. Oh, that's 52. Oh, they could potentially throw the 50 energy move. If you do it that way, you're a lot more accurate. It is more difficult, but you know, then you only have to like remember a couple numbers and then do the calculations in your head, rather than remembering every single count for every single fast and charge move combination. I feel like the first option of just counting your energy is it's harder, but ultimately more precise and better, I think.
That's a really good point. And how do you go about it to actually studying that? Do you like spend a day maybe just read over the actual moves and studying it, or during the game, or how do you go about it?
Well, it helps that I've been playing the game for a very, 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 very long time. I've studied that before, like years ago. I already started trying to learn, the energy for every move. So I just know it. I don't really have to learn it anymore. I forget some, move energies sometimes, so I have to remind myself. But overall, I just, I try to focus a bit extra during my games and just count a little louder or a little harder, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If you're like new to counting, yeah, you're probably gonna have to create some flashcards and just teach yourselves the energy count for every single move.
Good point, guys, take notes. And then I have two more questions for you. One is the expectations for next seasons. Are you expecting that the game will be completely fixed, or they hopefully it will be better, or is there anything in your mind that you hope for? The only reason I'm bringing this up, because I have a feeling that the community right now has the wrong expectations in my mind, thinking that the game will be absolutely spotless and amazing comes the next season. So I just want to bring that up and kind of like think about it, to talk about it before the season starts, and people gonna be like, what happened? We just took off 3 months and it's still not fixed. So I just want to what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the game will ever be spotless before the end of or at the end of this season. I think we're already seeing good fixes. Actually, just a couple days ago, update went live and charge move pause, one of the most annoying bugs we've had for way too long now, seems to be fixed. I think I've done probably 10-15 sets of GBL, and I've had 0 charge move pauses. That's when you lag like a turn or two after your charge move, and I haven't had that happen once. So we're seeing big changes happen, and from I think Ghost Stadium recently posted an article about the state of the game. They actually got a chance to talk to Niantic about the state of the game and what they're doing to fix it, and why we should be trusting Niantic to fix it. And from that, we did learn that Niantic currently has an actual dedicated team working on PvP, which they didn't have before. I think that's why it took so long to finally get started, but now they actually have a dedicated team. So I do think things will get fixed eventually, since they seem to be fully committed to improving PvP and making it the best it can be. But it takes time, and I don't think that will happen before the end of the season, unfortunately. But we should see improvement for sure. We already have seen improvement, so that's good.
Yeah, and that's how I feel as well. So I'm glad that you shared that information. And guys, also, I wanted to bring this up because I don't want anybody to get disappointed. What I don't want is, I almost feel like Niantic is setting the expectations too high for next seasons. So I just wanted to bring it down just a little bit, just a notch, just to make sure that when it actually, whatever happens, we'll be thankful and happy for it, because the future does look bright. That's what it looks like. What do you think about with now that Pokemon Go is technically esports, moving forward with the Pokemon Play tournaments? I mean, it's only gonna get better and bigger, right? That's what I'm thinking. So what would you, I guess, tell people who would want to get into this? Like, how could they even get into, I guess, first they need to get into Go Battle League if they haven't, but to even participate in these tournaments?
Man, first, of course, you gotta grind the Pokemon, get out there, catch some Sableyes, catch some Licky Tongues, catch some Marills, get your teams ready, Also, check out, I think getting information is probably the most important thing as well. Luckily, we have a ton of, great YouTube channels currently making videos on GBL League, but also the Show 6 Pick 3 format. You know, you're one. You could also check out my channel. I've got some videos on the EU International Championship as well, analyzing the teams. And just try to copy what they're doing, build the same Pokemon, run similar strategies, and just improve on your gameplay like that.
Perfect. Well, thank you for sharing that, Tho, and thank you again for coming on the podcast as well. And then before we wrap this up, is there anything you want to share or say from the future for the Go Battle League, or anything for the community, whatever you want before we wrap up this podcast?
I just want to say, if you're on the fence of joining a regional tournament or not, I'd say just go. Even if you do bad in a tournament, it's just great meeting up with everyone, having fun, watching some battles. It's just really a great experience.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Tho. And guys, as always, make sure to check out. If you're listening, you can watch it on YouTube. Everything is linked below. If you're watching, you can listen. And then all the information to get involved with Pokemon Play tournaments is linked below, as well as ThoTechtical's information as well, from Twitter to Twitch, YouTube. All of that is linked below, so make sure to check him out as well. And Tho, thank you again for being here.
Yo, thanks for having me, Daniel. This was great.